Do you recognize this man? I'm gonna guess no, because 35 years ago, he was unfortunately on the receiving end of a straight bullet to the head. The news sent shockwaves through the entire hip-hop community. DJ Scott LaRock was the first major rap artist that was ever murdered, but he certainly wasn't the last. What followed after was decades of gun violence, emotional trauma, and death within the rap community, proving one thing and one thing only: rap music can't be positive. Here's why.
Put that on my Yankee hat. I'm a gangster crib, fuck gangster rap. Where the ladies at, where the hoes.
Where the bitches? Every real nigga know the difference.
Alright, so let's say you went up to a 14-year-old kid on the street and asked him what his favorite rapper is. You're bound to get answers like,
Lil Uzi, Lil Durk, and NBA Youngboy.
Johnny on the ground, please. Johnny make it go away. You fucking his bitches, some niggas, his son. I'm hanging with killers. You know I'm with a young boy, I'll kill that bitch from his mom.
I feel like the average person could call them bad role models, confidently. Then you start putting two and two together. Children, irresponsible behavior, negativity. Jesus H. Christ, Benjamin, close your ears right this instant! But it's already too late. The damage has been done, and little Benjamin is almost certainly gonna grow up to be a drug dealer, serial killer, and gangbanger all at the same time. And worst of all, he'll be doing it in some Amiris. Disgusting. Hip-hop is the most popular genre amongst our youth, and because of its graphic content, parents often worry it's gonna poison the minds of their offspring. That fear is and has always been the root of the anti-rap movement.
You ain't with the business, nigga. Who you murdered? We wonder why this society is so messed up. Listen to the music.
I mean, no one likes overreacting more than some concerned parents. But is there really a reason for concern? Has it always been this way? And will it ever change?
Change? Shit. I guess change is good for any of us. Whatever it takes for any of y'all niggas to get up out the hood. Shit, I'm with you. I ain't mad at you.
Those are the same questions that were plaguing one hopeful up-and-comer back in the early 90s. New to the hip-hop scene, Tupac Shakur was gonna stop at nothing in order to instill change into his culture and do something positive for his community. Both his parents being Black Panthers, Tupac was determined to make his name known through socially conscious hip-hop albums. An inspiration to every young person in the country. What could possibly go wrong?
This guy is a thug.
That's what gangster rap is doing to our children, turning them into gangsters.
I think this is nothing but verbal pollutants.
We don't want this kind of garbage in our town. Our society is plagued
And sick.
by sexual immorality, and we wonder what's causing this. Sex is something to be enjoyed in a good Christian marriage.
Rap music,
Gangster rap songs that debase women.
Degrades the value of life.
All right, everybody, settle down. No need for any more worry, okay? The white man is here, and he's gonna save hip-hop. No, it's okay. No need to thank me. I know I'm brave. Time to roll up the old sleeves and get to work. We can make hip-hop a good thing. All right. Now, I think I heard someone talking about Tupac. Yeah, back in the college days, me and the guys used to listen to that kind of stuff a little bit. Snoop Doggy Dogg, Biggie Big. I don't really go near that stuff anymore. I think jazz is great, though. Jazz is amazing, I think. If there's anything history tells us, it's that we're drawn to things that are forbidden. I mean, looking even all the way back, that's why Eve ate that apple when God specifically told her, hey, Eve, let's not do that. Yeah, well, NWA was pretty much like the forbidden apple to the youth of the 80s. Just like all the devilish drill music is for the kids today. The only difference being that NWA's music actually got banned in a lot of places. The FBI even demanded they take down one of their songs, and I'm pretty sure we all know what song I'm talking about. It wasn't popular with the adults, Caucasian ones especially, but their kids fucking loved it. All of this controversy just made the music more appealing to them. You know, there's a certain excitement in doing what you're not supposed to do, especially to the youth with the teenage spirit and the rebellion and things like that. But that doesn't only apply to the music. I mean, even big corporations like Nike recognized this trend and used it to their advantage with the fucking Jordan 1. You know, back in the 80s, the NBA had this very strict policy where everyone on the team had to wear the same color shoe. And that color had to either be black or white. I know neither are colors, but get off my dick. So when Jordan rocked out the Bred ones on court for the first time, NBA wasn't having it.
Yes, but what's wrong with the coloring? What rule do we violate here?
Well, it doesn't have any white in it.
Uh-huh. Well, neither does the NBA.
Now, on its own, this is just a black and red tennis shoe. But with the help of a strict rule and some smart marketing, it's a banned phenomenon. And now suddenly, everybody wants the Jordan 1. Sales skyrocket. The point being, controversy sells. And it has always sold. What, you don't think rock and roll was controversial? And even before that, comic books. It's a tale as old as time. Young people love a thing, old people hate it and think it's dangerous. We should be used to this already. Now, whether we should tolerate it is a completely different question. As Tupac burst on the scene, he was met with excellent critical and commercial acclaim. But that also came with adversity from literally every angle, with even the vice president calling his art unnecessary and dangerous.
There is absolutely no reason for a record like this to be published.
He said, take my shit up off the shelf. I mean, goddamn, the vice president talked about me. He want my shit up off the shelf. Not motherfucking Megadeth, not Killer Cop, all these other motherfuckers out there, all these white, god damn.
Which was nothing compared to the 2 off-duty officers shooting at him and lying in court that Tupac did it first. True story. He knew he was fighting an uphill battle against the police, against the legislators, against the country. But no matter how hard they tried, these factors could never break him. Because they were expected. Those were not real threats to his spirit. The real threat always comes from an unexpected source. From the people you thought could never hurt you. Alright, you know what? I'll give it to you. Maybe if you collected all the rappers together. Alright, everybody, huddle up, Cardi, you too. And told them, come on guys, what are you doing? Let's stop the controversy. I mean, enough with the negativity, people. Let's really make a difference. Maybe then something could change. But what if I told you that that is something that already happened? After Scott LaRock passed, a movement was started. The 1989 Stop the Violence movement in hip hop, started by KRS-One. All the rappers on the East Coast joined in.
Everybody say stop the violence! Stop the violence! We here to stop black on black crime. Cause we ain't with y'all killing and robbing each other. You understand that? Yeah!
They even had them a little song. Hey, guess it was good while it lasted. And it only lasted about a cool 8 months. No, it was a nice little run. But before you know it, boom, Mobb Deep comes on the scene. And they're so gruesome, it damn near compensates for all the years of positivity. So not only did nothing change, but things actually got worse. How? They certainly tried their best. Yet there was still a demand for lyrics about crimes, killings, and drugs, which was inevitably filled. You want to know why that demand was still there? Why nothing changed? Because nothing changed. Hey! Put that blunt down! Wait a minute! That isn't Sprite! Jesus and Joseph, I feel like you folks are not putting your all in here! I mean, come on! Hustle up! Hold on, I'm receiving a call. Mommy? Yeah, what do we have for lunch? Beefsteak and caviar? Again. So the year is 1994. Tupac gets set up and shot 5 times by his own camp. Luckily, he survived just in time to serve his 3-year prison sentence. Betrayed by his own friends, exhausted and broken, Tupac started to question things that were once unquestionable.
Trust nobody. You know what I mean? Straight up. My closest friends did me in. My closest friends, my homies, people who I done took care of their whole family. I done took care of everything for them, looked out for them, put them in the game, everything. Turned on me. Fear is stronger than love. Remember that.
One individual, or even a couple, can try their hardest to instill change and push a positive message, but their surroundings are still their surroundings. Their culture is still their culture. And these factors are always 10 times stronger than any single party. More often than not, they end up breaking the hopeful revolutionary. Aha! I knew it was all their fault. That rap music and their culture, it's corrupting our society. And the only reason people listen to it is because they've been brainwashed by the liberal media, okay? You know this. This is something you all know. Come on! Ridiculous! That opinion comes from the people who don't understand the creative process, or at least pretending they don't. So when I say nothing changed, I'm not talking about the art, which is just the aftermath. I'm talking about real life, which is the inspiration. Very rarely, if ever, is art created spontaneously. Something always precedes it and inspires it. In this case, that would be the drugs, killings, and bitches you hear about in your average rap song. Artists only capture the world around them, and it's really unfortunate that this is what real life is for a good portion of people. I mean, if you want something to be mad at, it's the systems in place which have neglected these communities to the point where things like murder are being glorified in them. But that's not the easy answer people can get down with, is it? Not nearly as dramatic as this whole generation is doomed and society is on the verge of crumbling because of these degenerate individuals with a mic and a notepad. Because that's what fucking Christ, this sun is annoying. There we go. Damn. I look like a fucking retirement home bodyguard. Yeah, but that is what brings the dollars in.
Hip-hop has done more damage to black and brown people than racism in the last 10 years.
Yeah! Ironically, that right there is the real reason why nothing is gonna change. Desperate and unable to post bond, Tupac started looking for ways out of prison. In that moment came Suge Knight and Death Row Records, living a fast life, gangbanging, murder, pretty much everything Tupac stood against up until that point. But Suge had one thing Tupac desperately needed: money. Enough to send Tupac's mother some, and enough to bail him out of prison, and maybe, just maybe, enough to get Tupac to set his morals aside. Even though to Suge that was merely an investment, in that moment to Tupac, Suge was a savior. So a year after he was incarcerated, Tupac Shakur is now a free man again. But time would show that the man who entered Clinton Correctional wasn't the same one that got out.
Shouldn't there be some integrity involved? I mean, something that stops you from promoting all of this negativity. Aren't you ashamed?
I have 3 words for you: supply and demand. People, supply and demand. As long as others are tuning in, there's no reason for the rappers to stop. On one side, you can rap about gangbanging to put food on the table and provide for your kids. And on the other side, you could listen to Carmen, 43, who says you should forfeit all of that because of her kids. Besides that, Carmen doesn't hate rap. Astronaut in the Ocean is her favorite song. It's just the negativity that bothers her. Alright, let me tell you a funny story, because I'm from a relatively small country, and over here we had this rapper who was the shit in the 2000s. I mean, he was literally everywhere. And his songs were full of the usual drugs, alcohol, money, bitches, you know the deal. Anyway, he got hooked on coke, went to rehab, but when he got out, he wasn't the same anymore. Suddenly, he started rapping about God and positivity. Ugh. Now, even though you and I may be on opposite sides of the globe, one thing stays the same no matter where you are. Nobody wants to hear that shit. And nobody really respects it either. Masked Wolf doesn't have any street cred. Even God knows you're not hearing NF in any sort of function. Everyone pretty much seems to agree that solely positive art is corny. So positive rappers are not high in demand. And because of that, our national hero is now doing commercials for local businesses. The only lyrics he's writing are about burgers and phone chargers. True story. Recently even made a gambling commercial, so I guess it's fuck God. Anyway, what choice would you make? Do you go the positive route and forfeit the money, respect, and influence? Or do you just not do that.
Oh no, I'm a bad role model. Think of the children.
Come on. Choice is pretty simple if you ask me. But this is what happens when you create a society where every aspect of life becomes monetized. You put people in positions where they are forced to make immoral decisions for the sake of profit, without a care of how it affects other people. Funnily enough, the biggest advocates of this capitalist structure are the ones most confused at the popularity of this sort of media. So since I don't see these root issues being resolved anytime soon, I'm just gonna put it out there. Rap music cannot be positive.
Wait, you want to invite Rashad? Well, obviously don't invite him. What if he brings his hoodlums? No, Jessica, I already told you. You can't trust these people. Hip-hop music. My favorite.
Anyway, Tupac got out and started indulging in ignorant activities now more than ever. That gentle kid with a passion for poetry was now completely gone, replaced by a vindictive and bloodthirsty Tupac, changed by his surroundings. Made even worse by the fact that the media and the fans seemed to enjoy his spiral, with him now being at the height of his popularity. Stuck in a positive feedback loop, he was living a wild, fast life and suffered a fitting end.
Have a good summer. Have a good summer, biatch.
Just over 6 months after he got out, Tupac was shot again, 4 times.
The car was driven by Death Row Records boss Suge Knight, who escaped with a slight wound on his forehead. Shakur, in the passenger seat, was not so lucky.
Once a beacon of light for his community, Tupac was now just another broken victim of his community, succumbing to the same evils he set out to change in the first place. He was strong, but he wasn't strong enough. On September 16th, 1996, Tupac Shakur passed away. And even though he died 27 years ago, Tupac Shakur's spirit still lives on, and his story is set in stone, inspiring millions in their day-to-day. And in that respect, one could say he beat the system. So even though Tupac's story ultimately has a happy ending, one can only wonder about the thousands of Tupacs we didn't get to see on the big stage, that were broken and stripped of their potential because of their circumstances. Visionaries that never got to tell their story. Change takes some time and some remarkable individuals. Though how much time and how many individuals are questions we still don't know the answer to. And even though to a lot of us it may seem unachievable, trying still might make you a legend.
Brody banging, 5 blocks, sorry I hit your homie 5 times, better grab chalk. This is on our music. This is on our radio station that our kids are listening to. I am so upset.